Mother Chucker at Philadelphia 19. You know, that song for Open, I dig it a lot. What does that song make you think of? Because I know we had like thoughts. We're putting this thing together of what we wanted. Did we kind of hit the mark?
I think it's neutral. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the vibe to it. It brings out your personality, Sally. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful show for you. Always Offended Podcast, Episode 5. Well, I guess we could call it Episode 5, right? We tried Episode 4, and quite frankly, it was dog shit because we tried to stream, and we did just a few minutes ago, and we got it to stream. However, if you like to look like a robot, which we did, and probably sounded like one, it was buffering. It was bad form. So we cut that thing short. Now we're recording the full episode, and I have to tell you, we have so much to get to. You do not want to miss 1 minute of this, Chuck. Tell the people why they don't want to miss 1 second of episode 5.
Because they gonna be offended, okay? They need to hear what we got to say. Got some good shit going on. Got some good rundown, good content.
Okay, so here's the deal. So, hey, sorry to cut you off, buddy.
We good.
So here's the deal. We got some stuff on Biden, Trump a little bit, even JFK, a little video montage we put together that all of you need to see before the election. Is it really going to change the vote? No, because those of you on the left, we're going to explain why facts have a tough time creeping in from a former KGB officer. He's going to tell us why. And this is going back to 1984, an interview. He was a defector from the old Soviet Union. He tells us why. The propaganda. And he lays everything out. We're getting into Sal Alinsky, which we didn't before, but we're actually going to do that because all of this is in line. He was a Marxist, Obama Marxist. Now he's really enjoying the fruits of capitalism. So good for him. But Chuck, we have that. What's going on in Philadelphia, which is your hometown?
Man.
You have some insight
Yes,
there.
sir.
You're going to share with everybody. We just have a lot of cool video, images. We got new software. I'm just really excited about sharing stuff with you guys on here. And we're going to run through all that stuff. Plus, did Jerry Nadler actually crap his pants on stage?
Debatable.
It is debatable to me, since I've done that, not on stage, but in public. Yes, I have. And those of you who know about sharding, you know that it's possible anytime, anywhere. Maybe he's a little Mexican. Maybe he had some Indian food. Maybe he had just a hamburger that was undercooked. Who knows? It could be from anywhere. Just all of a sudden, you're like, I gotta let one go. And you think you have control over it, right, Chuck? You think you have control. And like you'll see with Jerry, just slightly lifts up his leg, right? Just trying to creep one out because he doesn't want it loud. So you know how to maneuver, let one of those go out so it's silent, maybe violent. Hopefully it doesn't smell. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it just appears like he went like this and it was just an, oh no, not again, right? Not again. He's like the dude from Spaceballs. The alien comes out, who is an alien, right? Remember that dude, that actor?
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother deal. So lots of cool stuff to talk about. What we're going to do right now, I'm really excited to play this video. Because everyone, you're going to get inspired, then you're going to be freaked out at the end. When's the last time you saw a video like that, Chuck?
I don't know. Let's watch it.
Okay, let's do it right now.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling and you take him for a friend.
You know who I am. You know who he is. You know his character. You know my character. You know our reputations for honor and telling the truth.
Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
Terminal condition.
Terminal. Eleanor?
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
Morton?
Dying.
I say dead. We'll be right back.
Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here.
Really?
He knows
There's
he's
not?
on camera and he's swearing in ceremonies, and the parents are right there.
Oh my God,
as he
man.
leans in
How
for
the
a kiss.
How
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
What in the hell, man?
Yeah, so, okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
God, man.
Oh, well, I can put together a video like that on Trump. Now I'm sounding like Harry Carey. Hi, how can a kid from Mexico lose the ball in the sun? Hi, how about a Budweiser? Anyway, yeah, I'm sure you can put together some montage of Trump doing some jacked up shit, right? Okay, no one's denying that.
Yeah.
But this mother effer, and in light of what's come out about his son and Biden's granddaughter, which is his son's niece, his brother's daughter, smoking crack in front of the naked, walking around, doing inappropriate things.
Hey, hold on. We all got family members somewhere that smokes crack and walk around. That, you know, let's keep it real.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to mix it in, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so, Chuck, you got 2 kids. Would you let your kids around that man?
Listen, dude. Let me tell you something. You have girls. I have a girl. I cannot stand there and just let that shit happen. Number one. Number two, how do this guy can get away with doing stuff like that, and get away with saying that, and still be a candidate for running for president? Like, how the fuck does this happen?
Well, it's going to be explained here shortly by former KGB agent. His name is Yuri. He's going to explain it to us why people can just overlook this stuff. And to be fair, I think the majority of Trump supporters would do the same thing if it was flipped.
All right, 1,000%. I'm
not going to say all, because the Democrats, they're locked in. You know, the facts. It's tough for facts to get in there. Yeah. They see this. Yeah. They're just like, oh, that's just Joe being Joe. Okay, so you're going to let Joe babysit your kid or grandkid? Oh, well, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what you meant. It's just like, we want open borders, but then when we suggest that everyone that's coming in from those open borders, they're going to go all to your community, and they're going to live in your community. As a matter of fact, we're going to set them up next door. We're going to put up an apartment complex next to your $2 million house, the apartment complex. They're all going to live right there. What do you think about that? No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Yeah. I agree.
We've had conversations like that, yeah?
Oh, 1,000%. You know, the little things, like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's little, but like, I got 3 undergraduate degrees. Come on, man. We both went to undergrad. We went to undergrad together. If I left with 3 degrees, you probably look at me like, why the fuck you getting 3 when you can get a master's, right? Like, why would you lie about little shit like that? If you can lie about little shit like that, then of course there's a lot of lying going on in your life, man. Because that just doesn't make any fucking sense, man.
So is
Why
it
you
that? Sorry to cut you off, but I have to say
Yeah.
this: is it that far fetched that this guy set up one of the biggest rackets, international rackets in the world, when he was vice president? And then how long has that been going on to where he's been enriching his family? It seems like he's been getting a cut because he's the big guy. The big guy's got to get 10%. Hunter,
Absolutely.
China, Ukraine, I don't want to get into all that crap, but is it that far-fetched to believe he used his power to enrich his family?
Oh, come on now. Of course. Of course.
Why don't people understand? Well, Trump did the same thing. Trump hasn't been in office, public office, and serving us, quote unquote, for almost 50 effing years. That's the difference. He did this on our dime. On our dime. And you think why he said, China's not a threat, man. China's not a threat. Okay. Say what you want, but it's a communist state. It's a communist country.
Yeah.
All they want to do is subvert. And they want
Absolutely.
the United States to fall. And there's a bigger agenda here, which we're going to get into. The globalists, and it goes back a long ways, but the Bushes, the Clintons, Obama, Hillary was going to push us over the cliff. Trump stopped it. And hopefully on Tuesday, which I think this is going to happen, he's going to win again. Republicans are going to get the House, and they're going to keep the Senate. But these are all globalists. And if the United States falls, the rest of the world falls in line. If you guys like being controlled with this mask thing, oh, well, Europe, it's out of control. Okay. I have to say this too, Chuck, about the stupid COVID thing. And to everyone who's had loved ones who have passed away from COVID, I'm so sorry.
Absolutely.
But it's been so politicized that people have lost their jobs, they've lost their businesses.
Yep.
The alcoholism, the death, destruction of relationships, the list goes, the starvation of it. It's just, Chuck, it's insane. Okay. And people make this argument, oh, well, Trump didn't act quick enough with COVID. That's why 215,000, whatever it is, 20,000 people are dead. It's like, okay, tell me one country that did a great job, that did it perfectly. These are the same people that say, well, America's imperfect, but they fail to say what country is perfect. There isn't one. Okay.
There's not one. Yeah.
There's not
for
one.
Sure. For sure. So speaking of the COVID situation, so, here in Davidson County, Nashville, Davidson County, my son was set to go back to school November 4th, day after Election Day. He's a 7th grader. They had an emergency school board meeting last Friday. Okay. So as of right now in Davidson County, only K through 2nd grade are currently in school. So my daughter's, who's a 1st grade, she's in school. So 3rd and 4th grade was set to come back, and then 5th, 6th, 7th, all that stuff. So they came with an emergency school board meeting and said, we're not going to come back to school because the numbers are rising again. So you know how many active cases currently in Davidson County? Active cases. There's 2,500 active fucking cases in Davidson County. You know how many people live in Davidson County? Close to a damn million. So let's shut down the schools. Let
me ask you this question. You're at a hospital almost every day.
Correct.
Right?
Every damn day.
What's going on there?
We have a floor that's a COVID floor. I think the media want to say it's full, but again, the hospital I'm at only have about 20 cases or 20 people actively in their ICU, and they have about 200 beds available. So this hospital is not full, not even close to full, but if you listen to the media, it's raging out of control. Now, I do want to say this is how the media twist it. They'll say the outlying areas, the smaller towns, those rural hospitals, they're full, which is true. Okay. But If rural hospitals only have 20 ICU beds compared to 200 in the city at one facility, well, those folks are not going to drive 3 hours to go to a hospital. Okay, so I'm like, well, okay, that's true. Numbers are getting a little higher, but you're really juking the numbers because these rural hospitals are small any fucking way. They're tiny. Don't make it seem like there's 500 beds and there's 500 people in ICU. That's not the case. It's only 20. It's 20 out of the whole damn county of probably 800,000. So stop it. Slow down.
Biden keeps talking about it's going to be a dark winter, and then Fauci, the troll looking mother effer.
Yeah, he's disappeared. Huh?
He's one of the biggest piece of shits in the world. And if you don't believe the stuff I'm saying here, there's a lot of information. Why does he own patents on coronaviruses, right? That's just one question. But he's saying, the vaccination or the vaccine may not be even ready until the end of 2021, 2022, maybe. I don't know. Now he reversed it, saying, oh, well, yeah, it may be end of the year type of thing, early in 2020. Everything out of the guy's mouth is a lie. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, and that's true because he said it.
Right.
He even said that we don't need to worry about COVID. It's not going to affect Americans, and he said this in February. He said this in February on multiple news outlets, okay? This is also the same time when Biden called Trump a xenophobe, racist for closing China. And then Nancy Pelosi on February 24th, and we're going to show this at some point. I don't have it loaded up. February 24th, she was in Chinatown in San Francisco telling everyone to come down. Everything's great because Trump was a racist and she wanted to be around the Chinese. This is in February 24th. And now they're saying Trump should have acted sooner. What would you idiots have done? Nothing. Just like you're doing nothing now. You just want to shut down the fucking economy. Why is this stuff all going on in Europe with the more cases? Like, is it a coincidence right before the election, Chuck? Or are all these motherfucking people in on it?
It's funny how that works, huh? Right before every election is some bullshit pops up, man. So, what a coincidence.
Hey, check this out real quick. I'm gonna play this again.
Let's check it out.
In the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Wow.
What the hell was he talking about roaches?
I don't know where that came from.
So here's the thing.
They had a bunch of black kids around them, huh?
I don't know. That's something you could shed some light on. What the hell does that mean? Okay, so there's a couple of different definitions of roaches. One of which we all know. Okay, the end of a joint, right? It's a joint. Okay. Here's another one. Here's another one, okay? This one's interesting. It's from Urban Dictionary, by the way, everybody. A dirty person, someone who smells bad and likes to be shirtless in public. This person comes from slums, projects. Basically, a dirty wannabe thug. Chuck, any thoughts on that? Oh, damn it. Hold on. Chuck, say that again. Your audio was off. Any thoughts on that?
I said, coincidence or not, that he's saying that and he's around a bunch of black kids. How? That's just fucking coincidence, huh? I don't think so, man. I think everything is. I think these folks in urban communities are fucking stupid, and he's been getting away with saying some shit, and for a long time. I mean, rightfully so, right? He's been saying it for a long ass time. And no one has called his ass out on it. And, you know, I'm just like, so you gonna call folks roaches? Who was rubbing on your fucking leg? These roaches was rubbing on your leg? Like, what's going on? And you love kids jumping on your lap? What the fuck? Who says that shit? Like, whoa, time out.
Pedophiles?
Right. We always have, we all have that one family member that might,
I'm not saying Joe Biden's a pedophile, but to be honest with you, I showed my girls there's videos online of Biden, and you've seen them, Chuck, touching the little girls. I showed my girls, and because I wanted them to know who's running for president. And
Yeah.
was that the right thing to do? I don't know. They were deeply disturbed by it. Let me just put it that way. They don't know anything about politics. I don't talk to them about politics. All we can do as parents is tell them to be good people, treat people how you want to be treated, and do the right thing. Right? That's all you can do. And then they got to figure stuff out. Right? You can't be helicopter parents and do all this shit. But they were creeped out about that, man. And this guy's running for president. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, Chuck. Here's another definition. What do you think about this one?
Person's always asks for money.
Yeah, read it.
A person who's always asked for money or favors, a person who is dependent on others and can't do anything for his or herself. A person who's always asked for rides, borrow money, use your cell phone, call his or her girlfriend. Your good clothes to go on a date, your car to make good impression, your computer because they forgot to pay their internet bill, and more so, of your food because they can't afford to buy their own $1 cheeseburger. Damn, $1 can range from one of your friends to a crackhead asking for 6 at the gas station. Jesus. Tip for the day. A roach will never return a favor. Stay away from roaches to avoid infestation to other fellow roaches. Wow. This is Urban Dictionary, huh?
Yeah.
Speaking of truth, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, okay.
Man.
What do you think Biden meant by... Oh, there's one more. Sorry. This
Okay.
one... Dude, this one is insane. This one's insane. I gotta put this thing up here.
A quad sexual transvestite beast of the bedroom. What?
He will do anything. Yeah, he will do anything with you or with or without a pulse. And what it says here, a roach was attracted to both the women and both the woman and her dog and the desk she was sitting in.
That's strong right there, baby. Oh my God. Man. Damn, that's great stuff right there.
Okay, with those, and by the way, that's Urban Dictionary. So what do you think? What do you think Biden was referring to when he said roach?
Come on, man. We know what he was referring to, man. He was referring to...
No, I don't know. Tell me. What was he referring to?
My guess is he's referring to a roach is a black person or somebody that's trying to, the Urban Dictionary talked about, just a little dirty guy from the block, man. Just trying to, just hustling, just trying to get one up. And I think that's what he was referring to, in my personal opinion. That's just me. So.
And so who's the racist? Trump or Biden?
Remember, I'm the least racist person in this room. And people got mad that he said that. I was like, wait a minute. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So that statement got you mad.
People got mad. They didn't get me mad. People got mad. And I was like, so.
Oh, it didn't get you mad. You're saying it got people mad.
It got people mad. It did not get me mad at all. Because there's a reason. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Trump is a businessman.
It's marketing.
Everything's calculated. Absolutely. He is great at
How
what
many
he
Trump
does.
supporters repeat that?
Years. Repeat what?
Trump is the least racist person. How many Trump supporters do you think have said that? Because Trump said that.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know.
Well, he does it. He does that for effect, right? How many
Absolutely.
people are going to repeat that? Well, he's the least racist person. Well, how do you know that? Because he said it, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And it was brilliant that he said it in the and of course, that debate was here in Nashville, and he said it because he was pointing fingers at fucking Biden. Like, hold on. Y'all talk about something. I'm a racist. I'm the least racist person in this fucking room. What are you talking about here? And a lot of back in the day, growing up in Philly, Atlantic City was basically owned by Trump. Trump casinos everywhere in Atlantic City. Okay, so the beach, we don't have the luxury of living in Southern California like this guy right here, Matt Sully. So he can go down to a nice, clean, luxury beach down there. That's nice and clean and just have a good old time. But Us folks there on the East Coast in Philadelphia, if we wanted to go to the beach and get a casino back in the day, back when we were growing up, if we want to go to casino, we had to go to Atlantic City. And it probably was the Trump Taj Mahal or something like that in Atlantic City. So me, a lot of my folks in the community I grew up with that probably looked like me went to a lot of Trump hotels or Trump casinos back in the day, okay? Yeah. And we had no problem with Trump, okay? Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, right? Did a lot for the economy of Atlantic City. Now the casinos went left because Pennsylvania, all of a sudden, last 5 years wanted to start their own casino. So that put a hurting on Atlantic City. It's a small town, small city. Okay, the beach was right there. It's right on the beach. You can throw some dice, walk out of the casino, and within 5 feet, be on the damn beach. Not bad, right? Okay, not bad.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Pretty awesome.
So, yeah. So there's a lot of folks, a lot of black folks that Trump's a businessman. He's a businessman. It ain't personal. It's business. A lot of black folks he helped. Lots. And now because he, ran politically several years ago, they want to pop out and say, oh, he's racist. Well, hold on. He's a businessman. Does he talk some shit? Oh, yes, he does. Can he be an asshole? Absolutely. Okay, whatever.
So Joe Biden was talking about HBCU, right?
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
he was saying he had a number in his head which he wanted to allocate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Trump already did that. December 19, 2019, $250 million a year to the nation's historically black colleges and universities, along with dozens of other institutions that serve large shares of minority students. So Biden didn't have 250 million. He was closer, more like 150. So everything Biden says, Trump's already done, especially with the coronavirus or COVID, whatever you want to call it. Trump's already done it. Just like HBCU. He's already done it.
So there's a large HBCU here in Nashville, Tennessee State University. Love that school. I think it's a great school. And also, I'm not going to forget about Fisk University, Fisk University probably was Fisk, F-I-S-K. A lot of people have not heard of Fisk University. Right. It is in Nashville, Tennessee, along with Meharry Medical College, which is a part of, I want to say it's a part of Fisk University, but I can't 100% say that because I'm not 100% sure. So somebody will do some fact checking. So fact check me like Biden. I did not graduate with 3 degrees. I would let you know that right now. Just fact check me, please. But Fisk University was probably if it wasn't the first, it probably was one of the first black colleges to open and to allow black people to get educated, because back in the 1800s there was no university for black people. So Fisk University was one of the first ones to do that. So I know that. Yes. So listen, great school. Probably now is falling on some really hard financial times. It's a private university, but you do your research, folks out there on Fisk University. So there was a need for it. Tennessee State University, which is a public university here in Nashville, came a little later, and it's still a historically black college. I have 3 kids that I've coached before, who coached in the past, who are currently on the football team. So I go to a lot of football games. I go to a lot of Tennessee State football games before the COVID, and definitely support them because I think it's needed. And I think it's great that there is universities that obviously have the historical past for black people, because I mean, if you grew up in the early 1940s or 50s, you probably was not going to University of Tennessee. You probably have to go to Tennessee State if you were a black person. So I'm all for it. That being said, I think it's great that they need help financially, because here's the problem. Here's the problem with Tennessee State University here in Nashville, Tennessee. They want to keep their historical value, and Nashville has grown. Tennessee State University is the only public university in Nashville, and Nashville has about 7 universities here. So everything else is private. Belmont University, where the debate was at last week, private university, great school, very beautiful campus. Okay. But Tennessee State is a public university. So if my good friend Matt Sully right here is a Nashville guy, and he wanted to go to university, and can't afford Belmont University right here, he might want to go to Tennessee State University. Okay, but I mean, it might not be his style of school. I'm just saying. I don't know. I think Matt will be Matt will be just fine. My guy can get along with
Hey, I bet
anybody.
you'd
But
be
I'm
fun
just
as
saying.
hell, dude.
Oh, trust me, a great time. But I'm just saying. So a lot of folks from here will go outside the county. They'll go to Middle Tennessee State University. So Middle Tennessee State University, which is in Murfreesboro, 30 miles from here, is the biggest university in Tennessee. You know why? Because Nashville has grown, and because Tennessee State has not marketed themselves business wise to everybody. These folks are going outside of the city to go to these universities. Okay. And I'm like, well, if you're the only public university here, market yourself better. Well, we want to stay a black school. No, I understand that. Keep your historical value, but you're losing a lot of money. So I'm glad.
Don't you just need like majority? Don't you just need
correct.
51%?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But some people are just not comfortable with it. Okay. Because I mean, if school was back and if school was back full time, Matt, and we go there and we walk on campus, you and I would have a good fucking time. Like we wouldn't care. And you'll look around, you see, like, oh man, this is great, this is crazy, But some people are just not comfortable with that. Okay, my high school was 90-something% black. Okay, so some people are just not comfortable with it, and that's fine, whatever, So I think they're doing themselves a disservice, not marketing themselves better to get their school bigger and get a lot of money. So whatever.
To be honest with you, the type of education you could get there, and I'm not talking about in a classroom, socially, correct. And to be able to go there and have conversations like what we were able to do, right?
Absolutely.
But
yeah,
there's a lot more people like you there that you'd be able to surround yourself with. And that in and of itself is invaluable, right? Because you're choosing to be around people that are quote unquote different from you. And you're making friends, you're having fun, you're partying, you're just enjoying college. But at the same time, you're learning maybe some of the differences in how you grew up. And that right there, that's how you change some of these things that are going on. And I think black people say it a lot, where it's like, well, how many black friends do you have? I don't know. It depends on where the hell you live and what you're doing, what your kids are doing. Like, that's a big part of it.
Absolutely.
I think that's a valid question, but it's also, well, who are you around? What are your kids doing? Like what? And like that's a big thing. And you're not just going to necessarily go out of your way to try and be friends with someone because of the race. That in and of itself is fucking racist, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to hang around people that are really good people. You see eye to eye on some stuff you don't. I like being friends with all sorts of people because I like to argue, and you know me, that's just me. So, and it makes it fun. But whatever. That's a healthy thing. You need that. You need that healthy debate. So just, and I'm sure you're probably on the same page. If we had more of that, especially with the kids, the kids growing up, I think that.
I mean, come on, Matt. Back in college, we didn't seek each other out because we were different race. We just happened to migrate to each other because we thought the same and we thought shit was funny. So I mean, come on now, like it is what it is. So whatever.
Yeah, and you liked having a few beers. I liked having a few beers, and the thing,
it
worked. It worked.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out just fine.
Okay, so there's that. I wanted to mix that in. I mean that wasn't even. Yeah, it was up there. Put it up there. Good. I'm glad we're able to talk about it. Okay, this is going in now to Chelsea Handler and 50 Cent.
Oh, Fitty.
Fitty came out a week ago saying that he didn't want to be 20 Cent. So vote for Trump because he'd want to pay 62% in taxes, right?
Okay.
So I guess he got mother effed by everybody on the left. Do you know any more about that? I don't.
not everybody. We talked about it in the barbershop, and the people in the barbershop that were at the time that were business folks was like, well, yeah, we don't blame them. Hey, most of the people at my work are saying, yeah, you get to a certain point and people start voting with their wallets, right? They vote with their wallets. It's not personal, it's business. So, let's look at 50 Cent, man. He came up. He's done very well for himself business-wise and financially. So he's like, hold on now. If this guy gets in, if Biden gets in, my taxes gonna be through the fucking roof. Hell no. He's voting with his wallet. Can you blame the man? Hell no. Oh, before you jump in, Matt, let's talk about this. The NBA. I love the NBA. I love NFL. I love Major League Baseball. Okay. NBA, big political racial movement at the time when it was down in the bubble. Okay. So the NBA, mostly black, guaranteed fucking contracts. Okay. They're saying this, they're saying that. Okay. You know damn well those guys, majority of those guys, probably voted Republican. You know why? Because they voting with their fucking wallets. So
did they?
They're gonna think, oh, come on, man.
I don't know, dude.
Come on, man.
So they're just putting on an act.
Matt, you've been on a team before, right? You've been on a team before. So listen, are you gonna be that one guy on the team, okay, that is not going to just, the whole team say, hey, let's do this, let's do that because we think it was fucked up what happened. Okay, you can think it's fucked up what's happened, but you're like, all right, I'll just go ahead and go along with it. But when it comes down to voting, it's just you in that poll. It's not everybody. All you guys or your teammates not in there, right?
Yeah.
All your teammates not in there. So you can say, oh shit, yeah, this and that, man, Black Lives Matter, and it does. When it comes down to this voting shit, okay, let me see. Let me do the math. Carry the one. Oh, hold up. What? No, fuck that. I can't have this. I want to keep my money.
So, okay.
I want to keep my money.
Trump got about 9%, 8-9% of the black vote in 2016. And I know you're not a pollster, whatever, but you can feel the pulse of people in your community and around the country, right? What if you were to ballpark it, what percentage of the black vote do you think he's going to get?
I think he'll get more. Okay,
if you were to ballpark it.
Golly, that's
It's going to be 10%, it's going to be 15, it's going to be 20.
I think it's going to be 15-ish. 15-ish.
So why do you say that?
Well, because I think I don't want to just base it off of education, but I don't know. I would do your own research. That's my, when I'm in a barbershop and politics come up, I just say, hey, y'all, do your own research on both candidates and choose what you like. Just don't go off of what, your family might like or what's the popular vote or the unpopular vote. I'm sitting in a barbershop. When I walk in the door, people look at me and they see my black skin and they automatically think I'm a Democrat. I'm like, well, won't you ask me what's my political views first? Don't just assume, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I haven't endorsed anybody on the show, right? I'm just saying, don't just assume. Do your research on these people. Do your research, good research, and say, I'm going to vote for this person because of this. Just don't, I'm for my black people, I'm a vote Democratic. So, okay, again, you have not done your research. Okay.
So how do you feel? How do you feel when someone like Chelsea Handler tells 50 Cent, and they used to date, right?
They used to fuck. They ain't date.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, good. Good for him. I used to like.
Hey,
yeah, I used to like.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at him for that. Trust me.
And then she started talking. It kind of ruined everything. And by the way, some people say the same thing about me too. Like, Matt, if you just shut the fuck up sometimes, I would work out. But you know how I am. I like to talk. I'm in the mix, right? But for her to tell him, hey, I had to remind him that he was black and he can't vote for Donald Trump.
Did she say that to his face, or did she just say it on a fucking TV camera? Because I don't.
No. She said, to her credit, She said she's not spoken to him.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
So that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Because I refuse to believe she was sitting right across from 50 and say, you're not black. Because you can't, I mean, come on, she ain't gonna say no bullshit like that, man. Because what? First of all, Chelsea, I think you're a very good looking woman. Okay. But you are a blonde hair, blue eyed white lady. You can't tell a black person you're not black because of this. Stop that shit. Stop that shit. Just like somebody else who said that.
Who's running for
Stop
president.
That shit. Yeah, just so happened to stop that shit. Okay? Because no matter what I do, I'm still gonna be black. So stop that shit. Okay? You're still gonna be Italian, right, Sully? No matter what you do, you're still gonna be fucking Italian. Okay? So stop that shit. People can vote for whoever the fuck they want to vote for. Okay? And if it bothers your ass, that's on you, not on them. So 50 Cent again voted with his wallet. I don't blame the man.
Let's take a quick break here for a moment while we introduce our sponsors.
Some sponsors? There we go.
Sponsors.
Yeah.
One of our sponsors is Congressman Jerry Nadler, who's been in office for, I don't know, maybe 5,000 years. Recently, he was up on stage giving a speech, and this happened. Did he shart? Did he drop a whole load in his pants? I don't know, but look at it right here.
To join my colleagues in introducing the Protecting Our Democracy Act, so that we may restore these and other checks and balances that are so fundamental to our democracy.
Right there, right there, right there, right there.
Right there, brother. Lift that leg up.
As I bring on Congresswoman Maloney, I want to join the distinguished chairman in acknowledging legislation of other members of Congress that are contained in the chairman's legislation that they are putting forth, and Chairwoman's. And I also want to acknowledge Maxine Waters is doing some very important work on this subject.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Preserving our democracy. With that, I'm pleased to yield to the distinguished chairwoman.
He got that. I shit my pants.
Oh man, dude. Okay. Did he or didn't he? Shit his pants.
He had that. I think I shit my pants walk. And he was walking slow, like, oh god.
You see how he slightly lifted up his leg there?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
He's trying to push out a fart, right? He's trying to push one out, and that's when I think,
oh god,
it happens.
Slid on out.
It happens. Now, maybe next week we can get Jerry Nadler to come on and
great.
Talk about this after the election. We'll talk about the election, right? And we'll talk about his ability to shart and when's a good idea to shart and when's a good idea not to shart. What do you think?
Never a good idea. Never a good idea to shart. Never.
Well, if you're at home, yeah, you know, you can, damn it. You can go jump in the shower. If you're out and about, that happens, then you're...
But come on now. 10 times out of 10, you're out and about. That's the problem.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes it'll happen at home. You're like, thank God I'm at home, right?
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God I'm at home. So there's Jerry Nadler. We like to mix that in because we're talking about, you know, this all this serious stuff and yeah, that can be fun. But at the same time, what we like to do on the Always Offended podcast when we're not offending or someone's not getting pissed off is mixing some of the levity here. And now we got to get back to some of the other things that are a bit more serious. But I want to play this video. This is a former KGB officer, and if you don't know where he would be a KGB officer agent from, that's a bigger problem. If you don't know what the Soviet Union was, well, that's an even bigger problem.
Absolutely.
But this is Yuri Brezhnev. Yuri Brezhnev.
Yuri.
You want to say it? You want to pronounce it?
Yuri.
Yuri Brezhnev.
Brezhnev. Okay. Yuri.
This is an interview from 1984. for a former
And foe was KGB.
KGB, okay, the KGB's job, essentially, and depending on what they did, wasn't always, and he talks about it wasn't always espionage, but subversion. And they really wanted to tear us apart from the inside. What's happening now in this country? And he talks about demoralizing. But he's saying demoralization, which is different. It's an act of warfare. I want everyone to listen to this gentleman, Yuri. That, again, this is back from 1984. And in my opinion, his predictions are much more accurate than the one and only Nostradamus. I may be Nostradamus, but Nostradamus. Here we go with Yuri, ladies and gentlemen, right now.
The area of intelligence at all. According to my opinion and opinion of many defectors of my caliber, only about 15% of time, money, and manpower is spent on espionage as such. The other 85% is a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American.
Chuck.
Oh, interesting.
You hear that? He said, change the perception of reality. In your opinion, are we living in a country that lives in reality? Or have they really formed their own set of false facts based on information that's provided to them? And he's going to talk about propaganda. He's going to talk about more of these things. But what are your thoughts initially?
I mean, we are already living in a time that's presented in false facts right now. We're in a pandemic, aren't we? So, I mean, a lot of people are, however you want to say it, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of false facts out there. I mean, I already talked about it, the active cases here. So we're, under, we're going crazy again. We can't, it's going up. It's like, it's 2,500 active cases out of almost 1 million people in the city. Calm the fuck down. We're okay. So I think absolutely he's damn near spot on. Damn near spot on, man. So I mean, I think people they believe what they want to believe. They believe what's on the TV, and they just don't do their own fucking research. Stop believing these people. Do your own research. Stop. It's scared tactics. It's shit. What other word we can fucking say for it, man? It's come on, man.
So listen to more of this right here.
Let's go.
That despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism, Leninism.
Wow. Wow.
So, all these kids that are coming out, Antifa, yeah, we're talking about you. A lot of people that are part of Black Lives Matter. What did this gentleman just say? It takes just a generation. And that was back in 1984. And he's going to go on to talk about how proud some of the people he worked for would be at that time of what's going on. And he's going to go on to say the demoralization is really when you start questioning everything about your country. You start questioning the history, the social justice, which he's going to talk about. Okay? This is a fucking former KGB agent who's laying out everything for us and everything on the left. There's no way in fucking hell you can say this motherfucker was talking about common sense people, and he's going to bring up common sense people here in just a minute. So you fucking watch.
Man.
You fucking watch. Chuck, on we go. Sorry,
Preach
dude.
to him, brother. Preach to him.
Ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them.
Chuck.
What
did he talk about? The people in power. Mass media, government, big business, Twitter, Facebook, the media, the longtime bureaucrats, the deep state. He's fucking saying it back in 1984. KGB agents, officer, whatever the fuck you want to call him. He's saying it's back from 1984. He's laying out the roadmap. And Chuck, what are we witnessing right now? What are we witnessing with the bureaucrats, lifelong bureaucrats, the media, big business, big tech? What are they doing?
Oh, I mean, they feed you a lot of bullshit, man. They feed you a lot of bullshit. I mean, you know, we what do we all have right next to us? We all have this thing, okay? We all have this phone. The phone connects to what? Facebook, Instagram, all that shit, and then we get on there, and guess what? They're listening, and all these ads pop up about that shit, man, and they're just trying to feed you the bullshit, man. So, it's not surprising he said that. He's a very smart guy. Is this guy still alive?
I don't know. I think his head's frozen.
Well, that's probably
He
true.
might be alive. He was born in 1939. So he's, shit. He's only 82? 81?
Okay.
81? 80? Something like that. Here you go.
They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change the basic perception and the logic of behavior. In other words, these people, the process of demoralization is complete and irreversible. To get rid society of these people, you need another 20 or 15 years to educate a new generation of patriotically minded and common sense people who would be acting in favor and in the interests of the United States society.
And yet these people who've been programmed and, as you say, in place and who are favorable to an opening with the Soviet concept, these are the very people who would be marked for extermination in this country?
Most of them, yes. Simply because the psychological shock when they will see in future what the beautiful society of equality and social justice means in practice, obviously they will revolt. They will be very unhappy, frustrated people, and the Marxist-Leninist regime does not tolerate these people. They will join the links of dissenters, dissidents. Unlike in present United States, there will be no place for dissent in future Marxist-Leninist America. Here you can get popular like Daniel Ellsberg and filthy rich like Jane Fonda for being dissident, for criticizing your Pentagon. In future, these people will be simply squashed like cockroaches. Nobody's going to pay them.
Well, there's the Roach comment again. Damn.
So cancel culture. Is that not what he's talking about? Cancel culture.
What a coincidence, huh?
Dude, everything, he's laying out everything that is going on right fucking now. And if you don't think this election is about capitalism and freedom versus fucking communism or socialism, whatever the fuck you want to, it all leads into the same fucking place, totalitarian state, then you really need to rethink what it is that you're fucking doing. whom you're surrounding yourself with. What did he talk about? 15 to 20 years, the re-education, infiltrating education. And it started back in the 60s with the fucking hippies and the counterculture, which, you know, all that stuff, like, it's good, you know, but here's where it's leading, and here's where it's led. So, and I wanted to show this video because it's not us over here, common sense people, being completely off our rockers, but listen to what he fucking says here now, too.
Nothing for their beautiful, noble ideas of equality. This they don't understand, and it will be greatest shock for them, of course. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25 years. Actually, it's overfulfilled because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned...
most is done by Americans to Americans.
Man.
Based in lack of moral standards. And what he's referring to there, and the left thinks they have moral high ground because of the social justice shit, but he just pointed that shit out. Here's what it is. Treat people how you want to be treated. Respect your country. Be patriotic. Is that anywhere near what the left stands for now, Chuck?
Hell no. Hell no, man. Come on, man.
Let's finish this.
For exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military bullet crashes then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization.
So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all your leftist friends, and God bless them, and I love all my left-leaning buddies, but trying to get facts in there just doesn't work. And what did Yuri say, Chuck? What did he say? It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible.
I could literally bring them to Soviet Union and show them concentration camps, and they would say, "No, that is not concentration camp." And I'm paraphrasing, so go fuck yourself. No, I wasn't quoting. I did not quote.
Impossible.
I paraphrased. Okay.
Yep, impossible. That's a damn shame, man. Brainwashed.
He laid it all out there. He laid it out. How the fuck do you people not get what the fuck is going on? This is a communist fucking plan. Subversion.
You people? What you mean, you people?
I'm only talking about you, Chuck. Only based on the color of your skin. That's what we're talking about here. You people. Dude.
Oh, God. Let's talk about my people, bro.
I mean, fuck, man. I thought in 16 it was about, I told my buddies then it was about socialism versus capitalism. They're like, oh, well, that's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, asshole. We would have been thrown off the cliff fucking 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole COVID thing is about fucking control, if you didn't know. Are you going to listen? Are you going to listen to Big Brother? Do you fucking people watch that show? Mine, good for you. You're able to do whatever the fuck you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. I don't care as long as you're a good person. But this is Big Brother. Put on a mask. Put on a mask. Okay, provide me with evidence that suggests that I should wear a mask. And we talked about this before. I'm not being an asshole. If an employee asks me to put on a mask, I'll put on a mask. Some asshole comes up to me. Now you gotta provide me some fucking proof. which you don't have any. Well, it's based on the science. Okay, what science? There's all these people dead. How do you know they died from COVID? Well, you don't. You know how I know this? Because I called up the Department of Vital Statistics in the county in which I live, which is Riverside County here in California. And there's 1,254 that had passed, theoretically, based on what's been said, it's online, of COVID. And I asked to see all their death certificates. And I was the only person who called up and asked to review those. Do you think that one media outlet would have called up and asked just to see this information so they could report on and do some research? Okay, did this person actually have COVID? Did they have diabetes? Were they 9,000 pounds? You know, I'm not like fat shaming here, but let's fucking be real, okay? We know what happens. Not one motherfucker called up and asked. So that told me a couple of things. And Chuck, we talked about this before. People are blindly listening to the fucking news and to our politicians. Why do you think our politicians have our best interest at heart? Maybe some of them do. And by the way, if you believe everything Trump says too, that's probably a problem in and of itself.
Absolutely.
But he's our best chance, our best hope. And I love the fucking way he goes out there and he does the rally. Like, it's just fun. Do I love everything that he says? I don't know, but I think it's a fucking comedy show. And if you take it too literally, that's your own goddamn fault. Chuck, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
It's definitely entertaining. Trump's entertaining to me, man. I crack up some of the shit he says. And, it's crazy that not one media outlet there in Riverside County or surrounding counties didn't call up and say, let's do a little investigation. I'm surprised, but not surprised, because I think it doesn't push the numbers. It doesn't push, the panic button for some people. Yeah, it doesn't push the narrative. So that's why they didn't do it. It's just a waste of time. We're not going to do that. We're not going to tell people, well, you might not, just don't panic. You shouldn't have to panic. So they don't want to do that. So I'm surprised, but not surprised.
So Yuri Brizmanov, farmer of KGB. I heard he drinks 5 gallons of vodka. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know.
Good for him.
Could be one of those things. That leads us into another Russian who's also an immigrant. His name is Sal Alinsky. And some of you have heard the name before. Some of you may have not. Sal Alinsky was an activist, community organizer in Chicago in the 50s and 60s. And he was a huge mentor to Hillary Clinton. Huge mentor. There's some letters there which we didn't print out, and we can do that next time if you guys want to see that. We can certainly provide that evidence, letters of Hillary. Who knows what she was doing? She probably fucked him based on the letter.
I would say, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Which at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares? But Sal Alinsky wrote the book Rules for Radicals, and was based on Karl Marx Communist Manifesto. We kind of broke it down into a set of strategies, or a strategy methodology for organizers and what they really need to do. And by the way, I've read this book. I listened to it. I'm a big Audible person. Okay, I like listening to this shit on my fucking phone. And I have to say, within the first minute and 20 seconds, Chuck, okay, first minute of 20 seconds of this book, Rules for Radicals, Sal Alinsky, by the way, his parents were Bolsheviks. And if you don't know what a Bolshevik was, then please look it up, because that's the Bolshevik Revolution. That's how the communist regime started in...
That's some bullshit, bitch, you said? Or bullshit?
Yeah, bullshit.
How you say it?
Bullshit, bitch, revolution. Right? Right?
Yeah.
In the Soviet Union. Okay, so in the first minute, 20 seconds of Rules for Radicals, author Sal Alinsky, mentor to Hillary Clinton, and Obama studied a lot as well. Okay, here's what it says, and I quote, "The very first radical known to man who rebelled against the establishment and did it so effectively that he at least won his own kingdom, Lucifer.
Never heard of that guy.
So this is a book from a dude who's a Marxist, Leninist, communist, and his parents were the Bolsheviks, right? Part of it. In the opening part of his own fucking book, he's giving praise to Lucifer. Explains a lot. Explains a lot. And if you guys dig deeper on some of the paganism, Luciferian stuff, human trafficking, which we're not going to get into, I'm just going to throw that out there. Look at all the celebrities or big names that have been arrested since Trump's been in office.
Huge names.
Epstein, Weinstein, John of God. By the way, John of God was a huge friend to Oprah Winfrey. I used to watch Oprah Winfrey with my ex-wife. And we would watch John of God because Oprah coined him the healer of the stars. But little did we know he was running a baby farm. And essentially what he would do is that they would kidnap young women and they would force them to have 10 babies. They would sell the babies, of course, and then they would kill the women after they would have 10 kids. Oprah's friend. Oh, who was also friends with Oprah? Harvey Weinstein. Who's also friends with those people? Oh, the Clintons. Nygaard out of Canada. He was kind of the counterpart to Jeffrey Epstein. So all these people, and the list goes on and on, all these people were running free until Trump got into office. Obama could have done something about it. Biden could have done something about it. Did they do anything? No. But Trump gets in office, and then all of a sudden we have these people behind bars and or they allegedly kill themselves, right?
Definitely allegedly. Definitely.
Chuck, this is actually a really big topic. I want to get into the Alinsky thing, and then we can get into, just to wrap it up, get into the libtards of the week. But
let's do it.
The human trafficking thing, what have you heard about that?
Just no human trafficking alone, or just in
as
general?
It pertains to
it's
people with
a
big
big topic
names that may or may not be involved.
It's a huge topic right now, and it's as we've been talking about, it's a huge coincidence that it has some ties to it. I know John Legend and his wife is being brought up in it, and I'm just like, God, dude, a lot of motherfuckers is in it.
Why did she delete 80,000 tweets?
Coincidence, right? Coincidence.
Chrissy Teigen, by the way.
Yeah, Teigen. That's right. I couldn't remember her name.
Why were they speaking in code? People bringing in pizza. Look up what that means on FBI pedophilia website.
It's fucking crazy. I was like, please tell me you're not involved with this. Like, are you serious? But man, these big names keep coming up, and they're getting exposed as they should be. And I'm just like, man, I cannot believe y'all will actually be involved with this. People with kids. I'm like, dude, you got a girl. Like, what's wrong with you? But why am I? Sometimes I'm like, let me take a step back. Why am I surprised? I shouldn't be surprised. These motherfuckers are off the chain, and they're different people, and I just can't rock with them. So
speaking of off the chains, there, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. Chrissy Teigen had a miscarriage about a month ago, right? Isn't that it?
I don't know that. I don't know. I don't follow her. I don't follow her close enough to know that. So I have no idea.
And then she had a photographer in the hospital room taking pictures of her and John Legend right after she had a miscarriage. Who does that?
Okay.
Who does that?
Weird people. People who want to, push the narrative on something. I don't know.
Or she didn't have a miscarriage. I don't know. All I know is that's pretty fucking weird. Would you do that?
Hell no, man.
Even if you had all the money in the world, would you pay some? Oh, we're going in to have a miscarriage. I want you to photograph that for us for our records.
First of all, I think some things just need to be private. Like did you have a camera crew when you was having your kids, Sully? Right in there, right there, just dropping it off.
I did not.
Okay, yeah, me either. So that some things need to be fucking private. Okay, so you and your family, some things need to be private. If people who choose to do that, that's on them. I don't give a damn. That's on you. Okay, but some things just need to be private, man.
So I want to read this, getting back to the Marxist communist bullshit, Sal Alinsky. And I have this quote here. A Marxist begins with his prime truth that all evils are caused by the exploitation of the proletariat by the capitalists. From this, he logically proceeds to the revolution to end capitalism, then into the third stage of reorganization into a new social order of a dictatorship of the proletariat. And finally, the last stage, the political paradise of communism.
Paradise.
So do you notice how it says political paradise of communism?
Mm-hmm.
Not the people's utopia, which they try and sell. The political paradise. So Chuck, what does that mean to you as it pertains to communism? Political paradise, what does that mean?
It's not paradise to me.
Well, as someone who's not within the government, but here's my takeaway. Say for instance in China, if you're in the government at high levels, are you doing really well for yourself?
In communism, hell no.
You are though. In government and communism, yes.
Oh, government. I got you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're the working class, the people that are in all the factories, and
they're definitely not doing well.
I have a lot of experience working with a lot of those individuals. They're not making a lot of money. They're working 6 days a week, and a lot of them are not able to see their families very often at all. And it all depends on the individual. But the people in government who are controlling everything, they have all the fucking money. It's the whole point. And Obama's dad said it. Everyone should be subject to 100% tax. So if that's the case, where's all the money going? To the government.
Somebody's pocket. Yeah, somebody's pocket.
And so what's the government doing with all of it? Besides paying Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, Joe Biden. And by the way, from what I've read and heard, that whole thing, it was a Chinese intelligence operation because they knew Joe was going to be running for president at some point. So they didn't give a shit about $1.5 billion that they paid out to the Biden family. They didn't give a shit.
Damn.
It was worth it. Because
1.5 billion.
If he won, they'd have his ass. Blackmail. Because that's fucking treason what he did. So they're like, whatever. Who gives a shit? We'll pay him off. He runs for president, he wins, we have him. We're going to control his ass. And if people think that's fake, okay, that's fine. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. But fact being fact, oh, that's right, it doesn't sink in. It doesn't sink in, I forgot. From my Ruski friend, Yuri. Hunter was doing deals. They have the fucking laptop. The FBI does. There's 3 different hard drives on there. There's 3 different hard drives that they have. All this information is there. Is it going to be exposed? Who fucking knows?
Of course,
who knows? A lot of people should have gone to jail for the Russian collusion thing that Hillary made up. And is anyone going to go to jail for that? I don't know. What happened to the Durham report? I don't know what the fuck happened there. Okay, let's Sal Alinsky rules for radicals. I want to go over this real briefly.
Yep,
and we
let's
have,
go. Got you right in front of me.
Here we go. Dun-da-da. Can you guys even see that shit? Can you see that, Chuck? I'm going to read this. Sal Alinsky rules for radicals. Power is not what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. That's 1. Number 2, never go outside the expertise of your people. Number 3, whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy. Number 4, make the enemy live up to its own book of rules. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about hypocrisy, Chuck.
Okay.
Here's the thing about hypocrisy. Make the enemy live up to its own book of rules. So you and I say, we're going to go do something. Our word is our bond. Okay? We're going to say we're going to do that. So we go and do it. And in the left, these communists, they try and use what we said against us, but they don't play by the same set of rules. They play by their own set of rules, which hypocrisy means nothing. They say whatever, they do whatever. It's just attack the individual, not an institution. Because it's a lot easier to attack an individual than it is an institution. That's why they've gone after Trump for 4 fucking years. That's part of it, but he's not part of the globalist regime. So that's 4. Number 5, ridicule, a man's most potent weapon. So calling Trump racist. How long has that been going on, dude? It's 5 years now.
Oh, God. Yeah,
he's a racist.
Long time.
He's a racist. Number 6, a good tactic is one your people enjoy. Russia. Ukraine, Stormy Daniels, Russia. And now everything with the Hunter Biden thing, it's a Russian disinformation campaign. A good tactic is one your people enjoy. That's all of what we mentioned there. Number 7, a tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag. What do you think that is, Chuck?
A drag queen or a drag?
Well, in their case, they've probably got all of the above.
Oh, damn. There we go.
Which, if that's your deal, that's your deal. Whatever. So, Russia collusion. How long's that's dragged on, right? And COVID.
Long time.
So, Russia and COVID, right?
Good old COVID.
If it keeps dragging on, why do you think they keep shutting shit down now? We got to drag it on because it's a drag. These are the principles, the rules for radicals that everyone is abiding by on the fucking left because Karl Marx wrote this shit. Sal Alinsky just broke it down into statements that everyone could understand, right?
Right.
Number 8, keep the pressure on. So when it starts fading up, something else has to come up. Oh, the Russian thing's going away. No, it's not. We got to make up something else. Adam Schiff, there's evidence in plain sight if you're willing to see it. Well, Adam Schiff, there was never any fucking evidence, you motherfucking liar. There was none. You know why? Because Hillary fucking made it up. Brennan briefed Obama on July 26th. 2016. About what you were doing. And they all went along with it. Good
God.
Number 9. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself.
Always.
COVID-19.
Terrifying.
Russia.
Terrifying.
Number 10. The major premise for tactics is development of operations that will maintain a constant pressure upon the opposition. Russia, COVID. Ukraine.
Scare 'em.
Stormy Daniels. Kavanaugh.
Oh, Stormy.
Well, she, back in, 15 years ago, she was legit. All right.
Yeah.
Number 11, if you push a negative hard and deep enough, it will break through into its counter side. Trump is evil. Trump is a racist. Now, Chuck, what was the black community saying about Trump before he ran for president as a Republican? Be the black Donald Trump, right?
Yeah, rappers talked about it. Rappers rapped about it. They talk about having an apartment at Trump's building in New York City. Oh, I got an apartment at Trump. I'm a black Trump. Back in the 90s, guess who the black Trump? They wanted to be him. And now he's a racist. Okay, all right. That's interesting.
Number 12, the price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. That's all they can say. Orange man bad. They really can't say anything about the policies, the opportunity zones. All he's doing is helping people. You may not like him as a person,
Right.
But what I think a lot of people need to understand, there's a bigger play or a bigger theme going on here that's at play. And you can say conspiracy theory all you want. And by the way, who made that up? The CIA. They put it out there after the Kennedy assassination to demonize people who were questioning how the fuck President Kennedy got shot and why the fuck he was assassinated. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bigger play here with the New World Order, and George Bush talked about it in the late 80s, early 90s when he was president. And what he was referring to is one worldwide government totalitarian state. Okay? Everyone falls under the same thing. What's Europe doing right now? COVID lockdown, COVID lockdown. America needs to lock down again. Oh, but I thought Trump fucked up the United States. I thought he fucked it up with COVID. Yet Europe, who's so awesome, they're shutting everything down based on what? New cases. Cases don't even fucking matter anymore. It's the death rates. In case you people don't understand this stuff, make some phone calls, do your own fucking research. We presented a lot of this stuff to you, but pick up a phone. Look on DuckDuckGo. Google doesn't tell you shit.
Coincidence.
Number 13. Pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. What'd they do with Trump? Exactly that. Freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. That's all they did for 4 fucking years. Russia, 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 Stormy Daniels, Kavanaugh, Ukraine, COVID. COVID, COVID, COVID. When, by the way, I'm gonna get those videos so all you people can see Biden talking about this is racist, xenophobic, and Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco, February 24th, 2020, telling everyone to come down to fucking Chinatown. Hypocrites. Just fucking hypocrites. Now, here's another part, and this is the last part of this. The 8 levels of control. Now, this is not confirmed that Alinsky wrote this. Okay? A lot of people think that he did. It's not confirmed that it actually was him. But there's 8 levels of control. I'm going to roll through this here. Number 1, healthcare. Control healthcare and you control the people.
Yep.
Poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you are providing everything to them for free.
Oof. Handouts.
And to live.
Yep.
Okay. Debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. That way you're able to increase taxes and this will produce more poverty.
Unbelievable. That's crazy.
Here's the next one. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way you're able to create a police state. Do you think it's, Chuck, you think it's not plausible that, and God rest in peace everyone who's been affected by mass shootings, but do you think it's possible after everything that we've laid out here that maybe it was intentional? Some. There's a possibility that some were intentional.
That's a good point.
Because what's the end goal here? They want to take away the guns. That's why people
take away the guns.
back.
That's true. That's a good point because it's a known fact that if we all had guns on us, if everyone knew that everyone's armed, the crime rate goes down because I'm not gonna fuck with this guy because he might shoot my ass.
Yep.
It goes down. It doesn't go up. It goes down. They say, hey, you know what? I might not fuck with this person. So it's a known fact. I like that. I like that side you're coming at.
So it's a form of control. The whole mask thing is a form of control. Now, if Governor Newsom told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? Because he said it's based on science. Now, and I'm playing Governor Newsom, if you jump off a cliff, it's for the safety of others. It's for your safety and everyone else. If you do this, it's perfectly safe. You will land. You may or may not live, but you will be safe and you're protecting others. It's for your safety and the safety of others. jump off that cliff. And some people, if anyone tells you it's for your safety, tell them to go fuck off.
Exactly.
This is all brainwashed bullshit. Well, the Italian way is that, boom.
However you want it. The Italian way.
You sons of bitches. Oh, here we get to number 6 of the 8 levels of control. Education. Take control of what people read and listen to. Take control of what children learn in school. What was Yuri talking about, Chuck?
The exact same thing. Hey, listen, control them. Yep, there's going to be a generation to let them know what 15 years to yeah, there you go.
And number 7, religion. Here's an interesting one. Now think about this. Why do they want to remove God from the schools? Well, they want to do that. Number 7, remove the belief in God from the government and schools.
And from schools, yeah.
If you take away faith, you take away hope.
That's right.
And if you take away faith and hope, what are people going to be relying on?
Nothing, right?
Government.
Yeah.
So what did LBJ do in the 1960s? He took the man out of the house. By the way, a 72% clip. Black Americans were married before the Great Society was implemented. The war on poverty was implemented. Now it's 27% of black Americans. Back then it was only 67% of white Americans were married, 72% of black Americans. You mix in these liberal policies, and you read the quote in episode 1 about LBJ. We're going to get these blanks to vote Democrat for the next 200 years. If you think politicians really give a fuck about you and have your best interest at heart, I think you need to reevaluate what you're thinking. Now, is that the case for all politicians? No, of course not. Not especially when they're going in. I think a lot of the people going in, they do it with an open mind and open heart, and they really do want to make a difference. It's just at some point, they get corrupted. I'm not saying all of them. I'm going to say a majority of them. So that could be 51%. Okay?
Yeah.
It could be more. But this is the case in America, and this is the case all over the world. The benefit of being in America and why everyone wants to move to America, because everybody can have a piece of the pie if they want it. These people are trying to take away our ability to get the piece of the fucking pie. Why don't you understand that?
Piece of the pie. Hey, man. They don't want to understand it. That's why, Matt. They don't want to.
Whether you want a chocolate pie, a hair pie, a fucking pumpkin pie, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, a wet pie, whatever it is that you want. There's pies for everybody. Everybody, there's abundance for everyone. But if you take away that abundance and you give it all to the government, then what's left for us?
Nothing.
Then the rest of us are going to try and figure out, well, if we want to get ahead, we got to be a part of the government. Then we're really not doing anyone any good. We're not producing anything. Our creativity's down. We're not doing shit. That's why China steals all our fucking ideas. Not to say that there's not billionaire entrepreneurs there, because there are.
Plenty.
If you want it to be like China, I work with them a lot.
Go live there.
Talked about it.
Go live there.
Oh, here's number 8. Sorry. Number 8, class warfare. Divide the people into the wealthy and the poor.
Yeah.
This will cause more disconnect, and it will be easier to tax the wealthy with the support of the poor. What's going on here right now?
You're going to get taxed, Sully. You make a lot of money. Your taxes are going to pay for these poor folks, man. Come on.
Chuck, did we not lay out a perfectly logical case just to maybe reevaluate, rethink some things? Maybe.
Right.
Or is everyone going to be like, that's conspiracy theory?
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna come up with their own excuse for sure. They hear what they want to hear. They believe what they want to fucking believe, Matt. You know that.
Okay, you talked about the barbershop. Now
Yeah.
we're at the Libtard of the week. Chuck, who do you think the Libtard of the week is?
Let me guess. Hunter Biden?
No. The more I look at this and
man.
the more I hear about it, it's Joe who's really fucked up their family.
Oh, shocking.
Well, rest in peace. The son, older son, Bo, he took his own life, and Hunter has his issues. There's a lot going on there. We're not going to know if that stuff is going to be made completely public. I guess time will
Probably
tell.
not.
But as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you'll probably agree, the Libtard of the week going into this election, there's not one person. In my opinion, it's many Americans that have been duped into believing that America inherently is evil and racist. When everyone wants to live in America, who's trying to leave their home country, where do they want to go? They want to go to America. And just so we can point out fact, in Africa, there's still slavery going on.
1000%.
Chuck, who sold the slaves to the Europeans? That, Columbus, he opened up the trade route. Who sold the slaves to the Europeans?
Unfortunately, their own fucking people, man. Their own African people.
So, if we look at it from this perspective, and we talked about this earlier, and we thought it was a great idea, what if more white kids went to Tennessee State, more historical black colleges, and got a better understanding of what goes on in different communities? That type of stuff can be impactful. Now, this is a vote. In my opinion, and Chuck, you can express yours here as well, and I certainly want to hear it. But this is about our ability to be free and to do what we want. I do not want to be told what to do by anybody, ever. And it's probably a reason why I'm not married anymore. Maybe one of them. I'm
Preach,
just being
man.
honest.
Just be here, preach.
Don't tell me what the fuck to do. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want. That's the deal. You can do whatever you want to do, whenever you want, as long as you're a good fucking person. I know I'm a good person. I'm going to try and help out every single individual that I possibly can within my means. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I love doing. So,
here we go.
If you haven't voted yet, all I can say is, if you're on the fence or whatever, this is communism versus capitalism. And if you want communism rolled in here very quickly, vote for Joe Biden. If you want to keep living a fun life, doing some good things with your family, just enjoying some shit, and looking towards the future and building things and helping people as much as you humanly can, vote Trump. It's really that fucking simple.
Listen, everybody need to exercise their right to vote, man. Go ahead and vote. Do your research. Do your educated research, not bullshit research. Just exercise your right to vote.
Here's last couple of things. If you're a fan of America at all, America, fuck yeah. If you're a fan of America and the American dream, my grandparents came here with nothing from Sicily, both of them. My other grandmother came here from Scotland, nothing. My other grandfather, he's first generation, half Italian, half English. He got called Wop Dago all day in Boston. He wound up getting drafted by the Washington Redskins. Chuck, did I tell you that? But he had to go to war. He had to go to war. And my uncle didn't tell us till a couple of years ago that he was pissed off that he had to go because he wanted to play football. You know, you're talking about the greatest generation. I'm like, oh, I always thought that, you know, they didn't talk about those things. Anyway, my grandfather and my grandmother, Sicilians, they owned Mexican restaurants. For 30 years, they came here with nothing, no education. Didn't speak the language. And America gave them that opportunity. My grandfather died when he was 88. My grandmother when she was 99. 99 years old.
Wow.
They impacted a lot of people's lives in a positive way. And they helped out so many. Now, was there a lot of, you know, stuff? Yeah, like any family, yes. But they made a huge impact because they had an opportunity here in America to do that. They didn't have subsidies. They didn't get those. They just made shit happen. They made shit happen. So if you're about the American dream and having more people come in to live that American dream and Americans living that dream, Trump 2020. And let's look at bringing up Americans here.
America.
Fuck yeah. Chuck.
Always a pleasure. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week.
Shit, man.
Who are we?
Well, we're going to have we'll have a victory. We'll have a victory party.
That's what I'm talking about. We have a lot of shit to talk about next week, boy.
Well,
ooh, boy.
For Chuck, I'm Matt. For at Philadelphia 19, at West Coast Sicilian, and the Always Offended podcast. We hopefully delivered this time on episode 5. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and we are out of here. Woo! Go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote.